The film which you are about to see is the account of the nightmarish attack which befell an elderly man in rural Zimbabwe. Originally from the rural region of Chirimizu, 87-year-old Tendai Maseka lived in this rural region his entire life. All the while he would farm to keep up with ends meet and lived a rather simple life, even to the point that he never married and unfortunately never had a child of his own. Though living alone in the middle of Zimbabwe, he had to stay alert and watching out for his own back, especially as Tendai was surrounded by some of the world's most dangerous and cunning predators, such as lions, leopards, wild dogs, cheetahs, black mambas, jackals, and of course, the beast featured in this video, the spotted hyena, which normally are very social creatures who live in large packs, sometimes up to as many as 80 hyenas, but will go out in small groups of 6 or more to hunt or find an already killed meal. On November 20th, 2020, our friend Tendai had a nice hard days of work in the hot sun and went into the local town afterwards in order to get a good night of relaxing and drinking at the local bar. Then after about 3 to 4 hours, he called it a night and began the walk home. As he was walking back, the nice cool breeze complemented with the sounds of insects in the night accompanied him on the way back home, which also helped with the effects of the alcohol, which were already running through his bloodstream, causing him to have even more of an exhausted feeling. Unfortunately for Tendai as well, he wasn't alone on his walk back either. In fact, he had about 6 different creatures following him at once. It was a small scouting party from a larger hyena pack, and worse yet, they were starving. And for the last month, they had been terrorizing the local cattle in neighboring farms. But on this night, with no luck in finding a viable food source, and with multiple members of the pack being on the brink of starvation, any and everything walking and breathing found itself on the menu, including human flesh. A little later, as Tendai returned home, he stumbled up the stairs, opened his door, and swung it shut, consequently not locking it behind him as he laid his head down. And as he did so, he was in an almost comatose-like state for the rest of the night. A couple hours later, bright and hungry eyes, accompanied with loud and sinister laughs, began popping up in the darkness. It was a pack of 6 spotted hyenas, and being that they were feeling desperate for an actual meal, without too much hesitation, the 6 began slowly creeping closer to Tendai's home. And because our poor friend forgot to lock his main door, the hyenas slowly propped the door open with their nose and crept in one by one. Then as they slowly approached Tendai, they made sure to stay low and stealthy as to not wake him up. Though as they got closer and closer, the cry of starvation rang from their hungry stomachs, and before they knew it, the 6 hyenas found themselves in a bloodthirsty lust to fill their bellies, and in mere seconds began ripping into Tendai viciously. Then as Tendai's blood-curdling screams began to fill the air, the hyenas began to latch onto his ankles in an attempt to drag him outside and finish him off. Though not before Tendai was able to fight back and force them to drag him an incredible almost 1,000 feet away into the dark. The next morning, a neighboring farmer was walking along a trail between the farms when she noticed a weird lump on the ground off in the distance. Not knowing exactly what it was though, she continued walking closer to catch a better glimpse at whatever it was she was looking at on the ground. Then as she got closer, her body nearly went into shock as she finally realized what it was that she was looking at the entire time. It was Tendai's severed head sitting in a pool of blood. She dropped everything immediately and ran in the opposite direction towards the town to get help. Then a little later, a small group of men came back and began to approach Tendai's house to inspect the inside for clues. Though as soon as they enter, they see that it's clear that something horrible had definitely happened as the entire room is covered in blood splatters. Then as they go back outside, they see the telltale signs of a man being dragged away by what looked like multiple hyenas, so they begin to follow it. Though as they are walking along, they start seeing multiple pools of deep red blood dotting next to the drag marks that eventually and unfortunately lead up to Tendai's severed head, exactly where the woman had said that she had seen it earlier. A few minutes later, a few of the men began spreading out to search for any other clues, and quickly started finding other body parts that belonged to our friend. First one arm, then the other, then both legs, and not before long, they found where they most likely ate through his body, as their insatiable appetites forced them to eat through his hip bones and shoulders. The men then gathered up the poor man's remains, and the town quickly gave them a respectful burial. The government then quickly dispatched the authorities to hunt and eliminate the 6 hyenas, though it's unknown if they ever tracked them down or not. Though due to the hyenas' natural habitat being pushed back and their natural food sources dwindling down with it, this most likely won't be the last attack in Zimbabwe, though only time will tell. With that being said though, may Tendai Maseka rest in peace. And once again, thank you for watching. Remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons and turn on the notification bell for more content in the future. Goodbye for now.